Hey guys, welcome to the channel. If you find many languages interesting and want to learn multiple at the same time, you found the right video. Los geht's! My name is Dustin and I'm an IT project manager from Germany. On this channel we create content that helps us to be more productive, to learn new things, especially languages, and to live a happier and more fulfilling life. Today I will show my experience with learning multiple languages at the same time, if it's a good idea, and how to do it. Let's dive right into today's topic. So first of all, why should we learn multiple languages at the same time? We can keep multiple languages sharp and ready to be used, and that's my core motivation behind that actually. Of course, once you have reached a really high level, like way into advanced, it's unlikely that you will forget the language. But still, I want to be able to converse and to understand at any given moment in time. Variety keeps you motivated. Of course, learning one language can also stay motivating, but learning multiple languages at the same time will give you access to much more cultural diversity and will challenge also your brain nicely. Also, switching between languages can be trained this way, which can be really useful in real life. You can see connections between the languages. Almost every day I stumble upon something. Like for example, in Dutch, cadeau means gift, and it's the same word that the French are using, which is also cadeau. It's interesting to see how languages have influenced each other, even if they are from different language families. And that makes me instantly want to dig deeper into the history of them. Like for example, English has been hugely influenced by the French language because France has at some point conquered England. And then also the Dutch language found its way into English because the Dutch kingdom was at some point a big colonial force and also a big trading nation. So yeah, it's quite interesting how everything mixes into each other. Of course, when languages are from the same family, then there are even more similarities. Then time is your best friend. When you learn each day a bit over a really long period of time, your brain can consolidate the knowledge fairly well. Like for example, the assimil technique to do shadowing and to learn like 15 minutes each day that Alexander Arguelles proposes on his channel is really effective, and it will get you to an upper beginner stage over the course of a year. And that without too much effort, stretched over a long period of time. But of course, that requires persistence and you need to do the work each day. Okay then, but what are the downsides? First of all, time is limited. There are 24 hours each day and that's it. Also, we need to sleep each day, and most likely there are also other obligations that we need to fulfill, like working or taking care of the kids or whatever. So the more you stretch your time across multiple languages, the slower your progress will be in each of them. Of course, there are tricks to make the most of your time, but time stays limited. And if you are stretched too thin, then you probably won't get anywhere with your languages. And then of course, when you are learning multiple languages at the same time, which are closely related from the same language family, you might mix them up terribly. This is especially the case when you are learning multiple languages at the beginner stage, which are closely related. Now let's have a look at how I do it actually. So I like the idea of segmenting the day and to have routines and habits in place that help you with your learning. That means I divide my day into 3 parts: morning, noon or afternoon, and evening. Throughout the day I have a bunch of time slots that I have mostly filled with language learning. I start in the morning with my weakest language because I'm an early bird. In the morning I have the highest energy and I can focus the best. So that means in the morning I learn currently Dutch. So when I'm driving to the gym, when I'm feeding the cats, when I'm preparing my breakfast shake, when I'm preparing coffee or tea or something, I'm always listening to that content. Then normally I work in 25 minutes blocks and then I do a 5-minute break. And in that 5-minute break I do some language learning. I use an app like for example Drops to get some more vocabulary in. I read a bit at LingQ and those kind of things. Or I use Anki for 5 minutes, and all that sums up, and in the end I'm at about 1 hour of learning. Then at noon I proceed with learning Italian. I start with making my real breakfast or my lunch actually. And while doing that, I'm also listening to audio content at LingQ mostly. Again, during my 5-minute breaks from work, I'm also using Anki, Speakly or LingQ again to do some learning. And that sums up again. And then in the evening, my 3rd block would be learning French. To do that, I use some dedicated time in the evening to relax and to do some Anki flashcards, to read some link content and so on. Also, while I'm doing stuff in the household, like vacuum cleaning the apartment or doing the dishes, I would also listen to audio content at Link. Sometimes when I'm alone, I also watch a series or a movie, and Netflix for example, in French. Then in bed, I usually do some more reading. Make sure that if you want to use your smartphone for reading in bed, to activate a blue light filter. Otherwise, that could mess up your sleep. And then twice a week or so, I have also some italki sessions, either during my lunch break or after work. Currently, I'm only doing them in French and Italian, but at some point going forward, I will also do them in Dutch. But I will show you that when the time has come. The language I speak the most each day is actually English. And I also learn most of the languages from English. Also, the series and movies I watch together with my girlfriend are in English. Going forward, if I pick up some more languages, I will definitely use a different language to learn it from. Like for example, learn from French as a starting point. To have some more exposure of French without spending additional time and to keep it still fresh. What comes to my mind, I found a YouTube channel in French for learning Dutch. So this is a nice thing. I will definitely consume that content to do some French learning while also learning some Dutch. Okay, now let's sum up what that means. Do stuff daily if possible. Otherwise you will have a lot of planning overhead when you try to make different days for different languages. Then dedicate the time of the day where you have your highest energy and the best focus for your weakest language. It doesn't have to be in the morning. Probably you're a night owl. You just have to find that out. Only introduce a new language when the languages you are currently learning are at an at least intermediate stage. Even better, an upper intermediate stage. Be especially careful with languages of the same linguistic family, because they could easily mix up. Then find time, especially dead time throughout the day, that you can use for language learning. I've already made a video about that and I will link it somewhere here. Then keep track of your progress somehow and have clearly defined goals. This way you can ensure that you are doing the right things and that you spend enough time for your language learning. And then last but not least, don't let yourself being stressed out. Don't try to learn 5 new languages at the same time. I know it's really tempting, and especially nowadays everything needs to go fast, but language learning takes a lot of time. And also, if there are so many interesting languages, try to only focus at one new at the same time and only compare yourself with yourself. Each day you learn something new is a great day. Please let me know in the comments, what are your biggest struggles when learning multiple languages at the same time? Talking of struggle, if you struggle to find time for language learning, I've already made a video about that. Or if you also struggle to keep your streaks up while you are traveling or while you're on vacation, I've already did a video about that as well. Last but not least, if you found this video useful, please leave me a like and a subscription to the channel. And to not miss anything going forward, click on the notification bell. Thank you very much for watching and see you at the next time.